Hey guys, Josh here, and welcome to a little video I'm going to look at some of the Mass Effect 1 remaster stuff. They've just released a trailer for the whole trilogy remaster, which we did know about and had a tease a few months ago, but they've actually released a proper full trailer now, going through it all. Just generally it's a lot better graphically, just systems they've done to kind of get them all kind of joined together into one package with all the DLC, everything all in one package, which is pretty damn cool. But yeah, there's some gameplay and screenshots that have been put up online. Mainly what I'm concerned with is the actual Mass Effect 1 remaster, which is pretty cool. So firstly here you have Sovereign at the end of Mass Effect 1 when he's attacking the Citadel and everyone's trying to stop him. So this is Mass Effect 1. It looks okay, but dated. This is now the remaster. Obviously it's much more colourful, more effects with his beam going and flames and stuff, but the textures on himself on Sovereign, you can see the metal textures look so much better and crisper, and lighting and stuff like that, and the ships around him look so much better. Just generally textures are really nicely increased. Here again you can see this is when you sort of first see Sovereign at the start of the game, when you go and you see him sort of in the distance, and it's very ominous, and it's a really cool scene. But this is it, it's very basic. You know, it looks okay for its time. This is now the remaster. They seem to brighten up, they got rid of the red sky, made it a bit more realistic looking sky, more buildings you can see, foliage, stuff like that, stuff in the distance, lighting effect on Sovereign himself, the light bouncing off him, and you can see the high-res texture on him again, which looks really cool. Also on Shepard there you can see a dramatic difference between the first one, which is just a basic texture, to the second one, which is much higher-res texture and sort of much more wear and tear on the armour. You can see on the right hand side there on the shoulder, just generally looks a lot nicer and prettier. And finally we have a shot here of the Mako, the original, and of course the remaster. Everything's just, textures are just better, lighting's dramatically increased, you know, it just looks so much nicer. It looks better than even modded versions. It's so nice. So now here's some actual gameplay, which is pretty cool. So this is the first game when they are on what's the planet called? Virmire? Yep, Virmire, going through, and you can see it looked okay, but very, very dated, definitely of its time, for a easy 10-15 year old game now. And now you have the remaster, and as you can see, this is the biggest change. We're seeing actually gameplay now. First of all, how nice it looks graphically. Water looks pretty similar, but the lighting's way, way, way better. A lot more foliage they've added. They've upped the scale, obviously, of the textures on Shepard, and I imagine all the other bits and bobs like that. Rocks look so much better. They've added a bit more sort of depth to them, and the main thing I think which just really just changes it, which is really simple but just lifts it so much, is that UI change from the original to this, where it's just so much nicer and much closer to Mass Effect 3's UI. So I'm assuming the whole trilogy will have that UI all the way through for the whole thing, and that's where they're going to kind of unify it into one big game to feel the same in terms of looks, menus. I'm sure that will apply to inventory and stuff like that. They've also said they're changing other things like sounds and stuff like that. They're going to tweak and things like that. So maybe they're changing gun sounds and things like that to make them sound more like the later games. Maybe unifying the sound of guns between the whole trilogy. I don't know exactly. But generally it just looks nicer. Obviously it's going to run at 60, certainly on the newer hardware. It's going to look really nice to play through. They've also said they're getting rid of restrictions for classes in the first one, so you can kind of just use whatever weapons you want, which is pretty cool. Yeah, looks to be a pretty nice remaster. I wanted to play it. I assumed it was just going to be a little bit of an upscale and 60 FPS, which I was happy with to replay it through again in one package, but now it actually looks like quite a substantial remaster. I'm really excited for this. So May 14th, that is out. I will definitely be covering it on the channel. I may do a full playthrough, I'll see, but definitely do a lot of gameplay of it. And yeah, so stay tuned for any further content as it releases. If they release more gameplay, I'll definitely talk about that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.